Now, the governor, Mr. Bello, has announced his willingness to work with his contenders, Mr. Idris Wadal, the People's Democratic Party, and Mr. James Falike. Has he personally reached out to them, and what has been their response?
His Excellency did not just say this, he had been saying that from the get-go after the two judgments at the lower courts, and he received with delight the immediate past governor of the state, Captain Idris Wadal's willingness to join hands with him to move the state forward. I believe moments from now or days from now, they will begin to communicate and synergize to ensure that the Kogi of our dreams will be realized. For our party man, Honorable James Falike, I'm sure definitely in the days ahead, the barricade would be broken, and it's all in the interest of Kogi and a better Kogi, and I believe definitely that they would synergize and share ideas to move Kogi State forward.
All right, many believe that his contender within the party, that's Mr. James Falike, most likely would recoil to Lagos to rebuild whatever is left of his political clout there after a failed attempt to translate that into Kogi State. Will that be your calculation as well?
For us in Kogi, we definitely know he's a son of the soil. He's represented Lagos, he's been in Lagos. The bottom line is he's Nigerian, and his services will be needed anywhere, in any part of the country. So he's welcome to Kogi. We are very willing to work with him. But if he focuses on Lagos, all the same, it's still Nigeria, and the small benefits in each parts of the country eventually builds up and builds a better nation for all of us.
Governor Yahya Bello is a very young governor. Would that account for anything in favor of young people in Kogi State? I would like you to be very specific in his plans for the young people in the state.
First and foremost, his governance style and what he will achieve will not just be for the young people of Kogi State. It's more or less a Nigerian matter. It's going to prove whether the youths of Nigerians are ready to take responsibility and drive governance to build a better and greater nation. We've always heard the cliche that we are leaders of tomorrow. In Kogi, it's no longer a thing of tomorrow. We are leaders of today. His team is made up of very young, talented, and people who have excelled in their various fields of endeavor. He's put us together, and he believes that his governance style would be a litmus test for the next generation Nigerians. And I believe he's going to deliver on his promises and also show that Nigerian youths are ready to take their positions in leadership.
As the governor puts the contention or the governorship position behind him, can you tell me exactly how he intends to shield the people of the state from the current economic setback that we have in the country? Some state governments are already providing specific incentives for their people.
It's a global matter. It's a Nigerian thing, and Kogi is not insulated from it. But His Excellency had said we cannot, as it used to be, dwell or be labeled a civil servant state. We must be able to move from a civil servant state to a commercial state and take advantage of our very well geographical advantage, being the link between the northern part of the country and the southern part of the country. And also with the natural endowment that we have, we will be able to ensure that we'll move our youth into sectors that are not government dependent. For instance, agriculture, mining, ecotourism, and creating small service enterprises that would ensure a robust commercial center for Kogi State. And clearly, that would boost the economy, that would put more money in the pockets of the Kogi citizens, and their lives would be better, even in the face of the recession. Yeah.
All right, let's go back a little bit to the to political issues in Kogi State. And many people are of the opinion that once the governor begins to settle, there are forces that will try to destabilize him through issues of ethnic imbalance in the state. Is the governor ready to deal with this distraction as well?
I'm a practical example of one of the strategy he has brought on the table to ensure that that doesn't really matter. I'm from the Igala ethnic group. We are the majority in the state. We've been in governance since the past 16 years. And for us, the younger generation, we believe, and we've come together to say to ourselves, leadership is not your mother tongue. Leadership is all about your character, your capacity, and your willingness to serve sacrificially. And whether you are from Togo and you are ready to deliver on the mandate and also make life better for the people, we are driving that paradigm shift, and it is shifting. So in the years to come, what the people want to see is infrastructure, development all across Kogi State. And like I said, when you build a road, it does not distinguish between tribes. It does not distinguish between religion. It's for everybody. And we are thinking Kogi first before we begin to go down to our ethnic cocoons. But we have seen over these last 25 years that dwelling on ethnic matters and dwelling on religious matters has not taken us to the potential of our state. And we had come together and said, as young men, let's reverse the trend. Tribal issues are no longer critical in Kogi State today. And His Excellency has proven that. I'm his chief of staff. He's from the Egbera extraction. In the past 16 years, we've had Igala governors, and all chief of staffs were Igalas. There were a lot of pressures on him from his ethnic group. But because we believe, and he believes, that leadership and governance has nothing to do with your mother tongue, he stood his ground and made me his chief of staff. And the appointments so far have been very well balanced across the 21 local government of Kogi State. What the people are waiting for is the dividend of democracy. They want to see the roads, they want to see water, they want to see great health facilities, they want their children to go to schools that are worthy of an educational center. And His Excellency and his team and all the people of Kogi are willing to synergize to make that happen.
Everyone is looking inwards now. Definitely commodity prices that Nigeria used to depend heavily on before now have all crumbled. Every state is looking inwards. We can see what's happening in states like Anambra. We've seen what's happening in Kogi State. What are the specific comparative advantages that your state is currently critically looking at to begin to take advantage of as low-hanging fruits?
Number one, agriculture. Number one, agriculture. Secondly, mining. And I'll give you an example. Why do you want to go to Sokoto to buy your cattle and your rams when Kogi can provide it for you if you're coming from Port Harcourt? Why would you want to go to all the way down to the eastern part of the country to buy your palm oil from Sokoto or from Kano when you can get it at the middle in Kogi State? We are geographically, like I said, we are geographically well positioned, and we want to take advantage of that to feed the nation, the north, the south, with what you have in the north and you don't have in the south, and what you have in the south and you don't have in the north. And
all right, thank you so very much, Honorable David Onoja, the Chief of Staff to the incumbent Governor of Kogi State.